Excuse me. Here's my opinion about what's going on. Not that anyone asked my opinion, just based on my limited understanding of life experience and what mainstream media tells us and all that other stuff. So, didn't JFK say something to the effect of there's a plan to enslave all of humanity? And it seems very much like that enslavement is both psychological as well as physical. Because if it's psychological, then it's also physical. But my guess is they'll enforce any means necessary to forward their agenda, whether it's fake COVID or something like David Crowley said, or both, or whatever. Electronically, they're doing this electronically because we are electrical beings. There's an electric current running through our bodies, all of us. And I think that they have merged to some degree our bodies with the internet, as well as the hardware, making us connected to the technology. And these upgrades are upgrades to I should have researched this before I started the video, but the 6G upgrades, 5G upgrades, 4G upgrades, those are upgrades to the what? The internet, the system. So if all the people are connected to the cloud and they're upgrading the hardware and we are connected to that technologically, that seems like a pretty good foundation for controlling the human race. And I'm not even going to get into the Georgia Guidestone's agenda Depop stuff, because they just tell us what they're doing. So that's my read on where we're at. And if we look at the nanotechnology, self-assembling nanotechnology under the skin for 20 years, and every administration from Clinton right forward, the biosurveillance, I think, started under Obama, the biodigital convergence conversation that's taking place now, all the building blocks have been in place, very steadily moving forward towards something specific. And we've had no accountability, none whatsoever, no transparency in terms of what they're doing with our money. Pentagon audits come to mind. The last 7 Pentagon audits, they failed, amassing trillions, which is probably close to a quarter of the national debt, I would imagine. No transparency, no accountability. In fact, the Pentagon's the only government entity that has not been accountable for not passing audits or not being able to state where the money went to. So yeah, that's my read on the situation of where we're at. I have no idea what comes next or what people decide to do. Don't think anyone consented to this, although they'll tell us we consented to it every step of the way by clicking those upgrades on our phones. So, maybe we should have read a little closer. But I imagine the reason we're in this predicament is because we remained silent on issues that should have been discussed. And now, today, we have a plethora of examples to look at the institutions in the government with specific and acute regard to fraud and corruption and lack of transparency and lack of accountability. And take your pick. Take your pick, whether it's the Epstein list and people in government who are participating in the worst crimes in the world, or whether it's the Pentagon audits and our money being spent on technology that we have no direct transparency around, or any other of the money laundering schemes that work against the people under the guise of safety and national security. Well, it seems apparent that the national security interests are their own interests and not the interests of we the people at this point, because why else would you lie and hide so much and have a multi-generational long track record of starting wars in places? And maybe that's really just how we end wars in the world, is not allowing governments to start them. Just a thought, right? So if we actually had a vote and a say in things, things might be a little bit different. And theoretically, we do. So all we have to do is use our voices to say, no, this isn't right. And, 8 billion people can say that the potential answer to climate change might be to stop fucking geoengineering the planet 24/7 without anyone's consent. Nobody wants whatever you're dumping on us. Maybe start there, and the GMOs and the fluoride and everything else. So yeah, maybe we could use our voices. It's probably a good time. It's always a good time to speak up and do the right thing and say the right thing.